What's up, guys? Welcome back to the vlog. Today's Friday, event day. So, I'm gonna start with my announcement that I've been talking about the last couple episodes, and that is I need to get better. I need to be a better competitive, better athlete. My announcement is the fact that is the only way that I can feel to get better is that I need to be around an atmosphere of competitiveness. I trained by myself mostly. I went Unreal this morning, and there's not a single person here. Um, Try to meet up with Elijah. He's got some life stuff going on, so he's going to take care of that. But either way, trying to get people to come together or go where people are at. People are at different schedules. It doesn't work for me or it doesn't work for them, whatever it is. But I'm trying to learn and trying to push myself to get better. Another way to do that is if I'm around people that are in that same drive, chasing something. So with that said, is I'm jumping into a competition August 9th. It's 5 events. Going to be a good amount of people in my weight class. I think there was 11 last time I checked. And we're going to be doing open middleweight. So it's strongman corp, so I have to be 231 or under. So 105 kilograms. And yeah, so we're going to be working on those events today. So we're going to hit some log, yoke, sandbag carry, stone over bar, and some grip stuff. So pretty much the same outline as Great Lakes Strongest Man, just a little bit different. So strength-wise, it should be the same. Variations are just slightly different. So that's reason why I picked this competition, because it is very similar to those events, and I'm not going way out of left field, completely flipping a script and changing the entire workout. So I can still continue prepping for Great Lakes and then just kind of jump into this as a event day, essentially. But obviously, I'll still have to flip the switch for competition and this and that. But this was just essentially just going to be for fun. Get out there, get around a bunch of people who are trying to drive improvement and chasing for that first position. Yeah, I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to get is what I'm looking for. So I've already competed twice this year. 1 first place finish, 1 third place finish. It's not necessarily about finishing or winning the competition. It's just putting myself in a position where I'm around that. So it's basically just building more experience and getting more lore, if you will, to be more acclimated for competition. So that's what it is. I'll post updates on where we're at with it and how we're feeling about it. So keep watching. This is still Great Lakes Strongest Man prep, but we're just going to do a little side quest. Let's get it.
Before the floodgates open, can we just lie here till it's all over? I hear the violence calling, turn and run. Inside, you build your walls, but can't forget the hate you hide.
All warmed up. Gonna start with log. Gonna work up pretty light actually, so we're gonna stay 80-85% of comp. The duration is 1 minute and 30 seconds, so 90 seconds. So I don't have any way to time it, not like a buzzer or alarm thing here. But what I'm gonna do is do like sets of 5, and then when I do my actual working set of the timed event, I'm just gonna do an AMRAP and then count it from where I end. So I have a number in my head, but that might not necessarily matter. I did sign up late, so I probably will be first. So I'll have to set the bar high. So we're gonna go from there and see what we got. Yeah, let's get into it.
Down to find
deadlifts are all, or excuse me, log press are all done. We're moving on to deadlifts. As far as log press went, it was pretty tough. It was a 80% of comp weight. I didn't know how much the log weighed. I got a hold of the owner of the log. He said 107. I had way too much on the bar at first. So I backed off. I did one set of 15, which was way over time. I don't have a way to time it here. At my other gym, I have a clock. There's no clocks here, but so I had a timer in my mind, and essentially was just counting every 6 seconds, and I lost track of how many reps I had, so I just kept going until I couldn't. And we ended up doing 15 reps, but then I moved to just, instead of timing each rep, just doing straight 10 reps because I don't have a timer, and I got to make sure we're getting the double digits every weight jump. So we just did, okay, well, I'm exhausted now. So I just did one last set of so essentially I did like 5 at 230 something. I did at so 237, and I did 5 at 187, and or sorry 15 at 187, and then I did 10 at 187. So I wouldn't say it was terrible, but it was pretty exhausting. But that's nor here or there. We'll get better with that. I do log quite a bit, but this is a better log than what I have. So I'd like to keep coming here to use that log because that's pretty much probably what we're going to use at comp. So moving on to deadlifts. I set up a deadlift ladder. It's only 3 bars. Well, essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the first 2 bars are under 400. Second bar is going to be, or the third bar is going to be 405. And essentially what I'll do is just do 3 reps at 405. So five repetitions total. With the practice, the goal of this is to get a smooth transition in between the bars. And keeping the timing, the pace in between, because there can't be any hiccups. Everyone's going to fly through this deadlift ladder. So you've got to be efficient. So that's going to be the goal here, is just step, 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 pull, 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 and just be smooth. So smooth is fast. So yeah, let's get it.
I'm not afraid to die.
Deadlifts are all done. They went okay. I got a time that I wanted to get for all 5 bars. Next will be yoke. I have a time set in my mind. It's 50 feet runs with the running back to grab a sandbag. I brought my own sandbag. It's close to, it's a little bit more than comp weight, but it's light enough to admit. The bag is 225 in comp, so it's super, super light. So it's about speed. So let's get it.
Feel the panic in everyone watching like me. We've all been used and sold out truth for a sick fantasy. I'm holding on to unbelief. I see you in the afterlife. Save me from this pain and fill the heart inside. You wonder why I'm out of tears to cry. Today I'm not afraid to die. No one hears me pray for my revenge. Nothing's gonna wash away these sins. I bathe in the fire. No more wounds.
Yoke is done. Sorry if you can't hear me. The music is pretty loud. But yoga's done. Didn't quite at the time I wanted, but I think it was very close, under a second. So I think with some time, 4 weeks out. So I'm happy with my time. If I could just be speedy with the pick of the sandbag, I think I'll be where I want to be. Um, yeah, very happy with today so far. We have one more thing. It's something I haven't done in a very long time. So we're gonna hit some stones. I'm happy to see stones in competition. Most of the comps that I've been in, very rarely do we have any atlas stones, which is very odd to me because it's like a core strongman movement, and I feel like most people just don't want to get tacky on things. But whatever, I like doing stones, even though I'm not the greatest at them. I just was something cool about picking up rocks. But I'm out of breath still, sweating. We are going to do. I don't know what. There's no weights on the stone, so I'm just gonna find a weight that I like. That's somewhere maybe 20% under or at comp weight. Definitely not gonna go feel like over. Comp weight's 250, so it's not super heavy, but we're trying to get reps in. So I want to get at least anything north of 6. Like if I can't, I only get 60 seconds, so completing a 5 is a series. So if we can do more than 5, then I think we'll be set. So it's stone over bar, so we should be able to crank some out as long as it's not too hot outside. But we'll get into it.
We all die in the end, but I know who I am. So judge me in the afterlife. Save me from this pain and fill the hole inside. You wonder why I'm all out of tears to cry. Today I'm not afraid to die.
This is a good weight. I'm not entirely sure how heavy it is. Less than 300, I guess. More than 220. So I don't know. I think it's a good thing to do a couple sets of 5 with. Move pretty quick. I just don't have any tachyon, so raw dog it was okay, but I don't know if I have 5 reps in it. So we're gonna do some light tacky and get some work done. So let's get into it.
In the shadows I stand alone, a warrior forged a heart of stone. From the depths of pain I've risen high. No one sees the truth behind my eyes. I was weak, a hunter lost in the night, but now I've learned I'll fight with all my might. The world's at war, the monsters invade, but I'll be the blade that never fades. I've walked through hell, faced death's door, but I'm still here ready for more. They'll never know the price I've paid, but I'll protect them all, undismayed. I'll rise my shadows, rise from the dark. We fight for justice, we leave our mark. The world will burn, but I'll stand tall, for I am the light, even when they fall. I'll rise my shadows, rise with the dawn. Though no one remembers, my will lives on. I'll save this world, even if I'm erased. In the shadows, my strength's embraced. Through endless trials, I've gained my power. I'll face the storm in the darkest hour. With each new foe, I'll rise again. The world's on fire, but I'll never bend. The monsters tremble when may see my face, but it's the ones I love that I must embrace. For every life that I must protect, I'll give my all with no regrets. I've walked through hell, faced death's door, but I'm still here ready for more. They'll never know the price I've paid, but I'll protect them all undismayed. Arise, my shadows, rise from the dark. We fight for justice, we leave our mark. The world will burn, but I'll stand tall, for I am the light, even when they fall. Arise, my shadows, rise with the dawn. Though no one remembers, my will lives on. I'll save this world, even if I'm erased. In the shadows, my strength's embraced. The world may forget the man I've become, but in my heart I know I've won. A king of shadows, a hero unseen, fighting for justice, a silent machine. I'll carry the burden, I'll face the fate, even if my name is erased too late. The shadows will remember what I've done, and when the war ends, the battle's won.
What's up, guys? That's it for today. Thanks for watching. That finished off this week, so we have a couple rest days, hanging out with the kids, and then I go back to work Monday, so things are going to be a little bit different. Videos are going to be much shorter, I would guess. I'm not going to have a lot of time to film each and every aspect of it, so I'll probably do a lot of shorts or something. I'm not really sure. I haven't really planned that far ahead. But next week, go back to work, so I'll be consistently in the gym early morning. And then, yeah, today went really, really well. I'm happy with log. The only thing that I would say that I wasn't necessarily happy with is my speed. So my yoke speed, my sandbag carry were okay, but they weren't where I want. I know I can do better. And then my transition between deadlifts were somewhat slow. The deadlifts themselves were fine. The weights weren't very heavy. It was basically just the first half of the ladder. But the transition part of jumping and landing was the part. Like, I'm getting older, my knees are just shot, but yeah. So just gotta work on that, get them better, and show up on comp day and do what you can. So see you guys Monday, and as always, lift heavy, move fast, and more importantly, just have fun.
Rise, my shadows, rise from the dark. We fight for justice, we leave our mark. The world will burn.